This next story is a true story of an Italian man that was brutally betrayed by his Thai wife and the people he thought loved him. This story is full of twists and turns and will leave you feeling like you never can fully trust anyone. This story should be used as an example of what not to do when dating, visiting, or traveling in Southeast Asia. Here it goes. My name is Enzo, I'm 36 years old and I'm from Italy. My work has always taken me outside of my country and has allowed me to travel and see a lot of what this world has to offer. I often went to the Caribbean and loved the Dominican Republic. I went there so much that I thought I'd end up married to a Dominicana. But as life would have it, I would find love in Asia, Southeast Asia. I traveled throughout the region. The Philippines was one of my favorite places. The beaches of Palawan, Boracay, and Siargao were out of this world. I met some amazing women and made a lot of friends along the way. As luck would have it, I ended up in Thailand. Like the many countless men who first come here, I was attracted to the party zones of the country, like Khao San Road, Bangla Road, Walking Street, and even the party district of Chiang Mai. As a single, white bachelor, I had the pick of the litter. Finding women who wanted to date a farang was easy, but once I reached my mid-30s, the late-night one-time flings began to become mundane and lackluster. There was no real connection, just pointless boom-boom, which, don't get me wrong, is amazing and exciting at first, but like anything when done in excess, begins to lose its appeal. With that said, I was looking to date seriously when I came across a Thai woman that I thought in the moment was worth pursuing. Her name was Serene, like the city in Isan. She was smart and beautiful. We met in the most natural way possible. I spotted her walking past me when going to the Platinum Shopping Center in the Pratunam area of Bangkok. She was with her two friends, but I decided to act as if I was looking for directions, and then when she told me, I told her I thought she was pretty, and if we could exchange numbers. She spoke little to no English, enough to communicate with the help of a translation app. I can tell she was taken aback by my directness or lack thereof depending on how you see it. Most Thais don't approach women that way, so it could be seen as something weird by some. I've always been one to go for what I wanted. I've always naturally been an extroverted guy, never shy to spark up a conversation with a random girl.
Where did you get there? Where did you get there? I mean, your smile is beautiful.
Oh,
What is your name? Sorry?
Once we began chatting later that evening through text, she told me that her friends were jealous that I didn't ask them instead. I laughed and told her she was the lucky one. Serene's demeanor was shy and innocent, traits that I personally find attractive, especially when considering the potential of a long-term relationship. I've already been through the wild women of Nana, Phuket, and Pattaya, and although they're a good time, I would never consider dating them seriously. Serene and I met near the Big C Supercenter across from Central World. She was so beautiful, looking better than the first time I saw her, if that was even possible. We went for dinner and dessert and later found ourselves walking on the boardwalk near Asiatique with a breathtaking view of the city. We both sat down with our translation apps in hand and I asked her every single question I could think of to get to know her better and to see if she was worth the effort. I've dated some women before that once I got to know were either boring or conniving. Through that night of talking, I felt something in me for her, and she became all I could think about for the next few days, until we were able to see each other again. Serene had gone back to her hometown in Isan to see her parents. After she came back, we continued to see each other for a few weeks, and surprisingly, we didn't jump in the sack right away. It took us a few weeks, in fact, for us to get there. But once we did, boy, let me tell you, she was a firecracker. The physical and mental chemistry was there, and after 2 or so months passed by, she asked me if I could put a label on it. I asked her, like, boyfriend or girlfriend? She replied back, yes. I already felt like we already were, so I said, of course. I could see in her face, she just lit up with excitement and brought up the idea to meet her parents. I felt comfortable, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So we traveled back to Isan, her hometown, and I was quite surprised at the sheer poverty and conditions of where her family lived. It was a stark contrast from the skyscrapers of Bangkok, that's for sure. It felt as if I was no longer in Thailand, or the Thailand that I was familiar with. On the way there, I remember Serene mentioning to me that it was customary for the man to financially help her family, and asked me if I was able to give money to her parents and relatives. That was the first red flag of many, but I complied and gave a few thousand baht to her parents, aunts, and cousins. They seemed appreciative, but I remember feeling used in the moment. It felt like shit. I continued to give Serene's family money during our visit, feeling uneasy but wanting to make a good impression. We stayed in her hometown for a few days and I got to know her parents better. They were polite but distant, and I couldn't shake the feeling they saw me more as a walking ATM than a potential son-in-law. Still, I was falling for Serene more every day, so I pushed those feelings to the side. When we returned to Bangkok, our relationship seemed stronger than ever. Serene became more affectionate, and I felt like I had found someone I can build a life with. A few months passed, and I decided it was time to take the next step. I proposed to Serene, and to my delight, she said yes. Amazing. We started planning the wedding, and I invited my family from Italy to join us. My younger brother, Francesco, was especially excited to come. He and I had always been close, and I couldn't wait to introduce him to Serene. He arrived a week before the wedding, and we spent time showing him around Bangkok, visiting temples and trying out street food. Serene seemed happy to meet my brother, and the three of us got along pretty well. The night before the wedding, Francesco and I went out for a few drinks. We talked about our childhood, our parents, and how excited we both were about the wedding. I noticed Francesco seemed a little off, but I assumed it was just nerves about the big day. After all, it was a huge deal for our family, and Francesco had never been to Thailand before. The next day, the wedding went off without any problems. Serene looked stunning in her traditional Thai dress, and I felt like the luckiest man in the world. We had a small ceremony, just close friends and family, and then a reception at a local restaurant. Everything seemed perfect. But that night, after everyone left and we were back at our hotel, things took a dark turn. Serene was acting distant, and when I asked her what was wrong, she wouldn't look me in the eye. I pressed her, and finally she broke down in tears. She confessed that the night before the wedding, Francesco had come to visit her at her apartment while I was out. They talked, drank some wine, and one thing led to another. They ended up sleeping together. I was stunned. My mind was racing as I tried to process what she was telling me. I couldn't believe that my own brother would betray me like this, and on the eve of my wedding, no less. I stormed out of the room and called Francesco. He didn't deny it. Instead, he apologized, saying it was a mistake, that he was drunk and didn't know what he was doing. But his apology didn't mean shit to me. The damage was done. My own brother had slept with my new wife the night before our wedding. I felt betrayed by my wife, by my brother, and by myself for not seeing the signs. I couldn't stay in that hotel room, so I packed the bag and left. I wandered the streets of Bangkok. My mind was spinning. How could I go back to Italy and face my family? How could I look my brother in the eye again? And what was I supposed to do with Serene? The woman I thought I would spend my life with had cheated on me with my own flesh and blood. Days turned into weeks as I tried to make sense of what happened. I spoke to Serene a few times, but the trust was shattered. I couldn't forgive her. I definitely couldn't forgive Francesco. I eventually returned to Italy, leaving Serene behind, but the betrayal haunted me. I spent months trying to rebuild my life, focusing on work and trying to put the pieces back together, but the scars from that experience run deep, and the lesson I learned is one I'll never forget. You can never fully trust anyone, no matter how close you think they are. Be careful who you let into your life and always trust your instincts. For all you guys out there, if you're ever in a situation where things seem too good to be true, take a step back and ask yourself if you're fully seeing the picture. And most importantly, protect yourself, because sometimes the people you think who are the closest to you will stab you right in the back. Check out my most recent story on Alejandro, an American who found his needle in the haystack in good old Philippines. Right over here. My name is Roberto. Subscribe, comment, and share the video with others you think would find it useful. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.